Yo, what up guys? Dmah back at you with another episode of A Day in the Life of a Martial Artist. Today I'm going to be at the Shaolin Temple Kung Fu School in Lomita, California once again. And today's a special day because we're joined by Sifu Wing of Jingmo San Francisco. He's going to be teaching a seminar on Xing Yi Quan. That's a little bit outside of my wheelhouse. I mean, we've done internal styles before. Tai Chi, at least I had a semblance of like how it's supposed to look, how it's supposed to go, but this is completely uncharted territory for me. You know us, we like the fast moving stuff, and it's gonna be a new experience. Let's give it a try. Approaching my school now, fresh new haircut, fresh new martial club shirt, which will be available soon on bigcartel.com. Check it out, it's gonna be fun. Walking up to this place never gets old.
I like it because of the feeling I had. You know, when you had something for so long, it's like a church. You know, your fighting style. I mean, I could tell you history, but that would take a while. We got our Xing Yi because long.
I would say my first big exposure to Xing Yi Quan came when I was watching Jet Li in the movie The One that came out back when I was in middle school. And it was very interesting because Jet Li played both the good guy and the bad guy. The antagonist practiced Xing Yi Quan while the protagonist practiced Bagua Zhang. Bagua Zhang is it's a very circular, non-direct art, whereas Xing Yi Quan is linear and aggressive in comparison. In that respect, you can kind of think of the two styles as being opposite of each other. The basics of Xing Yi Quan, they call it 5 elements Xing Yi Quan because the 5 elements each represent a different plane of combat and a different concept of fighting, and at the same time each one of them corresponds to a different organ of the body. First one would be metal, which is kind of a chopping action. Then there's water, which is like a spiraling action. Wood, which is direct. And then there's fire, which is explosive. And finally you finish off with earth, which is crossing or transverse. When the basics have been mastered, the idea is to take those elements of Xing Yi Quan and link them together to form a more comprehensive understanding of fighting. Xing Yi Quan is documented to be very old, and it has very epic descriptions made about it. Some people say that some of the handwork was designed so that someone can fight while shackled, that like while your hands are handcuffed you could still fight and be lethal. Legend has it that Xing Yi Quan was created by the Song Dynasty general Yue Fei. It's said that he took spear techniques and staff techniques and converted them into bare-handed fighting techniques so that people could learn to fight effectively without weapons. And that just sounds really cool, whether it's true or not. I was amazed to find that Xing Yi is much simpler in structure than such styles as Cha Quan or Hong Kun, because these external styles, they have lots of forms, complex floor patterns, an encyclopedia of fighting techniques, but Xing Yi Quan only has a handful of techniques in comparison to those styles. At the same time, Xing Yi seems to lend its practitioners a much more intuitive approach to the combative application. So, like, it's kind of interesting that an internal style of all things might be more of a go-to when it comes to actual fighting than an external style. Alright, so we just finished the seminar, learned a lot of good stuff. Xing Yi is very interesting. I realized it's got this really authentic Chinese flavor. Not that any of the other stuff we do doesn't, but definitely it's got that flavor that you know, I'm used to seeing in Chinese movies and like those TV shows about Tai Chi and Xing Yi and Bagua, and it was definitely worth learning. Completely different section of the martial arts world that I never accessed before, and I'm glad that I finally did it today. There was a metal section, a water section, earth, fire, ground, and each one seems to benefit a different organ of the body. So, and also the way it's laid out is very simple compared to other martial arts. You know, you got Northern Shaolin with 10 forms with very intricate floor patterns. This one just moves in a straight line. And it's the same techniques over and over again, or the same few techniques over and over again. So I like that it's very simple and accessible by people of all ages, including old people and young people. But at the same time, I can see where the avenues for great depth come in this style. So I'm looking forward to exploring it more, and hopefully it'll take me to new places in my martial arts journey.